Did you do it?
Yes.
What did it cost?
Everything.
I leave everything I have. My mom take care of me and my two brothers alone, you know. Now, Dad, you proud of me, Dad. You proud of me.
I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today.
And you know you won't give in, and if you test yourself and you fail, but you know you're gonna get back up again, if you know that, then you know that your character is strong, and that's what matters.
Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
The world has a strange way of stepping aside when somebody says, I'll do it or die. The man says, I will climb the mountain. They've told me it's too high, it's too far, it's too rocky, it's too difficult, it's never been done before, but it's my mountain, I will climb it. Pretty soon you'll see me waving from the top, or dead on the side, because I ain't coming back.
It's the what if I can pull off a miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be?
Take every opportunity
that comes your way.
Give your best in everything you do.
And stay focused on what truly matters.
The days ahead are full of
possibilities.
And it's up to you to make the best of it.
And remember, no matter what,
every little action
can lead to
great results.
That's how winning is done.
What's the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Here's my best advice. Welcome all experiences. You never know which one is gonna turn everything on.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better.
List all the things that you aren't willing to give up for the dreams that you have, and that is what the person who will beat you is willing to give up.
You're the closest to getting what you want is always the hardest.
I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, and I will succeed.
People give up right before they get what they've always wanted to get. People quit.
I had to make a decision. The decision I make was to get up and keep on going. That one moment changed the rest of my life.
Your haters are out there holding their breath, waiting for you to fail. Make sure they suffocate.
Hey, bro, I need you to get back in that mode again. That mode where nothing can take you off your pivot. You were just putting in that work every single day. See, that version of you is different. You gotta tap back into it. Don't be out here playing with your potential, because you one of them ones, bro. You special. And you weren't meant to be a person that could have been the one. You are the one. So I need you to get back moving like it before it's too late.
If you get out of high school, you don't know what to do, and then you start playing video games and you're on social media, a day can slip by like that.
Yeah.
A day becomes a week, becomes a month, becomes a year, and before you know it, you're 30.
Yeah, right.
And you haven't done shit.
Yeah.
And that.
When you're out there and you're running, there's a little person that talks to you in the back of your mind. And that little person says, oh, I'm tired, my lungs hurt, my legs are aching, I'm so exhausted. You have to shut that voice down. Tell that voice to shut up. If you learn how to defeat that person in your head in the middle of that run, you will learn how to not quit when things get hard in your life.
You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt.
Yes. Question is, how bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live or breathe or sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with you. But a lot of people
that you have, positive or negative, is affecting your subconscious mind, which is programming your future. Remember, your external world is a reflection of your internal world.
You are a phenomenon. You are unique. Your DNA has never occurred in the history of the universe, going back billions of years. It will never occur in the future. You are one of a kind, right? So that is your source of power. To waste that is just the worst thing you can do in your life. And what the power is finding that uniqueness.
Life is not just the passing of time. Life is a collection of experiences, their frequency, and their intensity.
You know what's crazy? You know you could be the one if you really wanted to, right? You know that, right? But see, you keep playing the what if game. What if it don't work out this? What if it don't work out that? But nigga, what if it do? What if it do work out? Then what? You gonna be happy, right? You can't say you want to win, but then you scared to lose. What kind of sense does that make? If you put your head down and lock in on the vision, how could you not win? Only thing that's gonna cause you to lose is your mentality. But that's between you and you, though.
You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena.
Life has to be hard. It has to be difficult in some ways. Things have to be hard for you to learn to do hard things. If you want to have anything, do hard.
The more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it.
You know, the best quality in the world that you can develop, and I give it to you, develop the quality of being unstoppable. Develop the quality of being unstoppable. Say in yourself that no matter what life throws at me, it'll never stop me. No matter how rough it gets, I will never quit, and nothing will ever stop me. Make the decision that you can be tired, you can be worn out, but nothing is ever going to stop you. I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. I don't care what it is, I'm unstoppable. Nothing will stop me. The greatest of all qualities to guarantee success is the absolute willingness to go at anything and refuse to stop until you achieve it. And you know something? The statistics show that 95% of the goals that you set for yourself, you will achieve if you refuse to quit.
If you're an underdog, man, the beauty of being someone who has to go through struggle, because you get that. If there's no struggle, if there's no struggle, then it's nothing. There's no journey. There's no journey. You know, you get to make that magic, man. You get to be the story.
There's 10,000 times more going on inside the head of a man than you have any idea. He's carrying burdens that you don't have a clue about, and he don't know how to express them, and he don't know what to do about it, and he figures if he puts it out there and communicates it, he's just going to be shot down, called a fool, called weak, so he carries it inside, and you have no clue the burdens and the hell that most men are carrying inside and not even showing you.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because I know how hard it is to take care of ourselves.
It was good. I try to get a picture of one of the next greats. I'm proud of you, my boy.
Everybody that has got from a place where they don't want to be to one where they are, there's a point where they're so different that they can't resonate with their old set of friends.
Right.
But they're not yet sufficiently developed that they've created their new set of friends. And there's this temptation to go back to the old patterns, the old ways of thinking.
Here's the thing, getting better at anything really never feels good. Like if you're building resilience, it's not a time that you're liking. You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't feel good. Those are the moments, for what it's worth, where you're getting better.
It's easy to fight when everything's right, when you're mad with the thrill and the glory. It's easy to cheer when victory is near and wallow in fields that are gory. It's a different song when everything's wrong.
And I will not be the person who quit before I got what I wanted or what I needed or what I felt I was supposed to have.
Remember one thing, through every dark night, there's a bright day after that. So no matter how hard it get, stick your chest out, your head up, and handle it.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Not until it hurts, but until it changes you. You'll lose sleep, you'll doubt yourself, you'll be lonely for most of it. Go all the way, because anything less than everything is nothing. The only way through is all the way.
Then why didn't you quit? You knew I was trying to get rid of you, yet you stayed.
Yeah, I stayed. I stayed because every time you threw a brick at my head or said I smelled, it hurt. But it could never hurt more than it did every day of my life just being me. I stayed because I thought if anyone could change me, could make me not me, it was you.
You identify with this gift. We all got the gift. There's something that we've all been blessed with. At some point, if we listen to that little thing that speaks to us inside, some people call it instinct, some people call it a vibe, some people call it an energy, whatever the you call it. Some people call it a voice. Whatever that thing is, bro, if it sparks the thought that changes the whole trajectory to what your life can evolve into because you took a second to listen to that shit. You are identifying with your blessing. You are identifying with your gift. And at that point, you learn what the it is and become one with it and walk in your purpose, bro.
You need a dream, and don't be afraid to dream big. The saying is that if your dreams don't scare you to death, they're not big enough. Your dream needs to be bigger than you are right now, and you will only succeed to the level of your dreams.
For you to find greatness in yourself, you're not going to find it by looking in a book or by even hearing me. I may give you the spark, but you've got to go inside yourself to find it. And that means you gotta be quiet. Shut the up, go in a room, stop talking, search your soul, search your mind, search your abilities, and you'll find it. But if you're not looking for it, you won't find it. So you gotta go start your journey.
If there is negativity, concern, anxiety, fear in your internal world, then it's going to be reflected in your external world. So be sure that what you're taking into your mental diet is just as pure as what you would take into a physical diet if you wanted to sustain high levels of physical health and energy. Absolutely important. Feed your mind with books, feed your mind with tapes, feed your mind with positive conversations.
Right after you were injured, you went on Facebook and you posted a lengthy blog. You know what this is?
Oh yeah.
You said this.
You gonna read the whole thing?
No, I'm gonna read some of it. This is such BS. All the training and sacrifice just flew out the window with one step that I've done millions of times. The frustration is unbearable. The anger is rage. Why the hell did this happen? Makes no damn sense. Now I'm supposed to come back from this and be the same player or better at 35? How in the world am I supposed to do that? I have no clue. Do I have the consistent will to overcome this thing? Maybe I should break out the rocking chair and reminisce on the career that was. Maybe this is how my book ends. Maybe Father Time has defeated me. Then again, maybe not. It's 3:30 a.m., my foot feels like dead weight, my head is spinning from the pain meds, and I'm wide awake. Forgive my venting, but what's the purpose of social media if I won't bring it to you real, no image? Feels good to vent, to let it out. To feel as if this is the worst thing ever. Because after all the venting, the real perspective sets in. There are far greater issues and challenges in the world than a torn Achilles. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Find the silver lining and get to work with the same belief, same drive, and same conviction as ever. One day, the beginning of a new career journey will commence. Today is not that day. If you see me in a fight with a bear, pray for the bear. I've always loved that quote. That's Mamba mentality. We don't quit, we don't cower, we don't run, we endure and conquer.
Hard work pays, you know what I mean? I'm no different than I was before. I just was committed and worked hard and earned it. And that's it. We are all equal, I feel. You know, it's the work you're willing to put in and the commitment you're willing to put in. And I was committed this camping. I'm happy and proud to represent my team and outwork.
What percentage of your potential would you like to have? Because if you say you'd like 60 and you'd like to spend the other 40% having fun, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But what percentage, what is available to you would you like to make happen? And there's no wrong answer. What is it? And I went 100.
I want it all. The grind is like, you got to be there every day. If you're there 3 days a week, it's not as good as 5. Mm-hmm. You got to be there 5 days a week. Mm-hmm. And 5 might be better than 7, because sometimes 7 you burn out. You want to keep enthusiasm, because that's a fuel. You also have to enjoy the shit out of it. And so enjoying the shit out of it with discipline is the key.
It is the ABCDE method. A is the things that you must do, top priority. B is the things that you should do, second priority. C is the things it would be nice to do if you got all your A's and B's done. D stands for delegate, E stands for eliminate. So when you make a list, the first thing you do is you ABC all your list. A, what you must do, B, what you should do, C, what would be nice to do, and then delegate and eliminate the others.
When we were kids, my mom hung a poster over our bed. It had a picture of a bumblebee, and under the picture, the caption read, "According to all aerodynamic laws, the bumblebee cannot fly because its body weight is not in the right proportion to its wingspan. But ignoring these laws, the bee flies anyway."
Staying motivated. And I have been finding myself more motivated even when I do not feel like doing something, to do it.
I isolate myself. I don't look at messages on Instagram. I don't send messages on Instagram. I don't go out. You would not like my life. I live alone, and sometimes I'm like, hello.
Passion and consistency. You have to love what you do. You have to get up every day. And I get here every day at 9:30 in the morning. When we sold in 2016, a lot of people in the company made a lot of money, and they all took off and they retired, right? Other than the Fertitas, I made the most money. I'm still here.
They sit there and make excuses here and excuses there. There is no excuse for not being the hardest worker. Yeah, someone might be bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, younger, whatever else, but there is no excuse to not be the hardest worker there. And when you believe that you have the ability to do something, that the life that you're living right now is going down this direction, you hate where it is, there is nothing else to do but to change direction. A belief that I cannot go that way anymore, I gotta go this way. And what do you have to lose? You know the outcome if you continue the same shit. Why not just commit one time in your life to something? See what happens.
The people that I know that don't do anything and don't take any chances and don't take any risks and don't exercise and just seek comfort are the most miserable, anxiety-ridden people I know.
Well, that's it. Second by second, you lose the opportunity to become the person you want to be. Or you can stop making excuses and take charge of your life. Normality is what weak people call living. I call it death.
People play for the success, but they are not aware that success is this. But this tastes so much more than this.
There's so much opportunity on the other side of being willing to persist for an extended period of time on the correct path without getting positive reinforcement from your environment. And the longer you can stick with something without that positive feedback loop in terms of the big external thing, the easier the opportunities are because so few people can pursue them.
Many people want to be exceptional, but they're afraid of being an exception. I think it's such a, it's wanting an outcome without the requirement that the outcome has. And so we can't do the same thing that everyone else approves of and then somehow get a different outcome that everyone else does.
Would you like a life where you never did anything that challenged you or pushed you? Would you choose that? No. So why are you complaining about your life being full of that? Pressure in itself isn't the problem. It's the story we tell ourselves about our pressure that causes us to be unhealthy. Stress and pressure don't actually kill people unless you believe it will.
I wish I had known that this too shall pass. You feel bad right now? You feel pissed off? You feel angry?
Yes,
this too shall pass.
Oh, great.
You feel great? You feel like you know all the answers. You feel like that everybody finally gets you, and there you are. This too shall pass. Ooh, good. Time is your ally, and if nothing else, just wait. Just wait. Just wait it out.
We are what we repeatedly do every day. Therefore, excellence that we're striving for every single day. We wake up early, striving for it, pushing for it, giving it all in our workout every single day. Striving. If excellence is something you're striving for, then it's not an accident. It's a habit.
I want to be the best player in the world. And she said, you need to be more realistic. And, that's probably not going to happen. And I remember everybody laughing. And that was like one of the lowest points because I already felt going to school, I stood out. It's like I kind of didn't belong. Everybody to kind of laugh. That really, it crushed me. And, I cried. I remember my mom wiping my face and telling me that, remember this moment, never let anybody tell you what you can or can't do.
And then you had all your media naysayers. Oh, scoring champion can't win an NBA title. Well, you're not as good as Magic Johnson. You're not as good as Larry Bird. You're good, but you're not as good as those guys. I had to listen to all this, and that put so much wood on that fire that it kept me each and every day trying to get better as a basketball player. Now, I'm not saying they were wrong. I may have looked at them from a different perspective. But at the same time, as a basketball player, I'm trying to become the best that I can.
Without that work, no one in this room would know who I am except my family. So to all the kids around the world watching and aspiring to be like one of us or even on the stage someday, put the work in and watch the magical ride you go on.
And you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and then you're gonna win. And that's life. Life without those challenges, it's just existence. Don't just exist. Go live.
The most successful people
live urgently. The most successful people are impatient. The most successful people have high expectations of themselves. The most successful people seem unrealistic and unreasonable in their expectations. And the most successful people are competitive. This is how it is.
If you have a belief and you can't explain why you believe it, it's not yours, it's someone else's.
We all want to read about how we can quickly get somewhere. That's why the 6-minute abs and all sort of shit is so powerful. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent. The permanent result comes from you. I say it all the time, you have to suffer.
Don't ever think or believe that you gotta smoke what they smoke, drink what they drink, wear what they wear, be a part of whatever it is they made you do. And guess what? If it's considered something negative to me, but yet you're doing it and it makes you happy, I want you to do what makes you happy. Live your life.
I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. I think that's what greatness is or should be. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. Yeah. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
In order to do what you love, you gotta get through the obstacles of the things that you don't love.
In life, right,
yes,
as
right?
you're trying to come up,
Yeah, getting over those hurdles, and then eventually they lead you to the thing where you're like, okay, now I'm ready to pursue said thing that I wanna do. Even if you hate your job, you're supposed to be using that job for something to get to something.
The most driven individuals, they live a life for many years and certain times without balance. Everybody strives for balance, balance, balance.
Coming here at night and, I don't know what it is about it, man. But it's just the air smells a little bit better right now. When you say you're gonna do something and then you follow through and you do it.
But next day, I'm very capable and I learn that, listen, Cristiano, let's go. Life continue. Past is past, it's never come again. The present, it's the best gift that we have in our life, the present. Because you don't know that what's gonna happen tomorrow. You don't know. Yeah, I don't know, you don't know. So live the present. Go back to the gym, work, because you have more to show. You understand? Life continue. You cannot live in the past.
All life forms strives to the max of its potential except human beings. All life forms strives to the max of its potential except human beings. How tall will a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. No, trees don't grow half. A tree drives its roots as deep as it can, reaches as high as it can, produces every leaf it can, every fruit it possibly can. To the max. Every life form strives to the max, except human beings. Now, why not human beings? Jot this down. You've been given the dignity of choice. You're not a robot. You don't have to repeat this year the same as last year. You can tear up last year's plan, develop a new plan. So, the dignity of being a human being. Now, here's the choice on being a human being. To be part of all we were meant to be, or to be all. To strive for all, or half, or part, or some. The choice is up to you.
Anytime I was in the gym, I was happy. Whatever's going on in my life, good or bad, I go to the gym, I exercise, and that for me exercise is the best form of medication. I always felt happy after a workout or after training. So when I was stopped training, I was hanging around with the wrong people or whatever, I wasn't as happy as I would be, so.
There's times where you're gonna have to do it alone. There's not going to be any team support. There's not going to be any family support. There's not going to be any friend support. There's going to be times where you've got to go and do it yourself and you got to do it alone. And if you can make that happen, you will win.
No matter where you came from, no matter what part of the world, no matter who your parents were, no matter what your poverty level may have been, may not have been, no matter what you had, what you didn't have, all of that, if you worked hard enough, if you dreamed big enough, if you were tough enough and you made yourself tough enough, you sacrificed enough, you became polished and savvy enough, and if you made yourself and took advantage of that opportunity and got yourself ready, and you were ready to behave like a champion, You could get in that ring on one given night and make the world fair and have your hand lifted and be called champion of the world.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
The superior human being keeps their mind on what they want. The superior human being stops the negative thoughts. The superior human being concentrates on excellent performance. Now somebody will say, well, I've never done it before. How can I concentrate, or how can I recall and relive excellence? Easy, in your imagination. You can pretend and imagine that you've done this before. Pretend that you've already succeeded at this. Think about how you would act if you were a superb success in this area. Walk as though you were a success. In neurolinguistic programming, they find that there is a physiological state or way of walking, talking, and acting that is consistent with every emotional state. And that if you walk and talk and act the same way you would if you felt confident, as we said earlier, you'll actually feel the feelings of confidence that go with the behavior.
We don't want to be left alone by ourselves with ourselves. So we come in and we sit down and we get on our phone, or we turn on the TV, or we go wherever, we do whatever, because we don't want to face the reality of being by ourselves with ourselves. Start making yourself a companion that you're comfortable with. If you had a friend, if you had a person you're going to sit down and spend all the time with, what would you want from that person? What would you want? Well, I would want to spend time with somebody who's honest. Makes sense? I don't want to spend time with somebody who's going to be lying to me all themselves, where they tell themselves the truth. They speak the truth to themselves. Now, you got to face the reality of who you are. You got to face the reality of what you are. And nobody's going to tell you that like you yourself will tell you that.
You're going to realize it one day. That happiness was never about your job or your degree or being in a relationship. Happiness was never about following in the footsteps of all of those who came before you. It was never about being like the others. One day you're going to see it, that happiness was always about the discovery, the hope, the listening to your heart, and following it wherever it chose to go. Happiness was always about being kinder to yourself. It was always about embracing the person you were becoming. One day you will understand that happiness was always about learning how to live with yourself, that your happiness was never in the hands of others. One day you will realize that true happiness comes from within, and no external factors can define it. It was always about you. It was always about you.
The confidence comes from preparation. So when the game's on the line, I'm not asking myself to do something that I haven't done thousands of times before, right? So when I'm prepared, I know what I'm capable of doing, I know what I'm comfortable doing, and I know what I'm not comfortable doing, right? And so in those moments, if it looks like I'm ice cold or not nervous, it's because I've done it thousands of times before, so it's one more time.
You have to be singular, inflexible, unyielding in your own work so that even the struggle, that very struggle to achieve, becomes its own reward. The hard, simple ability to continue is a kind of blessing. The world may think of it as an...
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
The energy it requires to start doing something is way more than the energy required to continue doing the thing. And that the beginning of doing anything results in the lowest amount of reward, both internal and external, than when you've been doing it for ages.
Heroes and villains always have the same backstory, pain. The difference is what they choose to do about it. Villain says, the world hurt me, I'll hurt it back. The hero says, the world hurt me, I'm not going to let it hurt anybody else. Heroes use pain, villains are used by it.
I think for anybody, like if you want to be great at something, you have to be obsessed with it. And that was the difference between me and the other kids, is that they would go to chess practice, they would maybe even do their homework, but they weren't living and breathing sort of the game that in the way that I was. Like, I think about it all the time. Like, I'm thinking about the game while I'm sitting on this chair. Like, I'm still analyzing a game that I played today. Like, it never goes completely out of my mind.
Control freak is a word people with low standards use to describe people with high standards. You're not a control freak. You just want it done right the first time. You're not anxious. You care. Do not expect mediocre people to support world-class goals.